The year 2020 began with so much expectation for many, as it was the start of another decade. Books were opened, plans penned down, then reality came calling. A virus has shown up and everybody needed to shape up. These expectations soon faded off quickly and were replaced by the COVID-19 protocols. Now, despite all these, Eyewitness report kept running, and today we share with you some of our features of 2020. Welcome. I am Chris Elams. At the peak of the border closure, in March 2020, Seme border became a ghost town. Businesses were on standstill as over 300 million naira worth of goods were left stranded and wasting away. With a new directive from the president lifting the closure, life is getting back to normal for the people of Seme. But let's quickly refresh your memory of how it was when we visited. The first thing you notice upon arriving Seme border is a loss of network signal. All the cell sites are down and cannot power up due to the strict procedure involved in getting fuel to and or within a 20-kilometer radius of the border. Frustration sets in. For those who are familiar with this area, commerce is at an all-time low. Very few human and vehicular activities. The border drill involved in the enforcement of the partial border closure is made up of several security agencies, including the Police Border Patrol, led by Chief Superintendent of Police, Moses Ogechi. They are on their usual morning brief and parade. Their operation is to make sure nothing passes through the border that shouldn't, thereby ensuring a change of fortune for Nigerian farmers.
The border is fashioned in such a way that it could maintain security, because by the left we have the we have the Atlantic Ocean, which is not easy for smuggling. By the right you have mangroves and creeks that is not very easy for people to penetrate for smuggling.
According to the release by the Office of the National Security Advisor coordinating the exercise, 697 illegal migrants have been arrested, while seizures include 86,602 50 kg bags of rice, 695 bags of NPK fertilizer, 1,172 vehicles, and several thousands of liters of PMS in jerry cans, drums, and trucks, with a total value estimated at 7.3 billion naira. While the government counts its gains, the blessings, the profits of the partial border closure, it will appear the story is not the same for some of the citizens whose goods are stuck here.
So in summary, we say there are losers and there are winners from the border closure policy. For those businesses that are into the production of things like rice, for instance, for those in the production of poultry products, vegetable oil, sugar, and the like, the report we have is that it has benefited them tremendously because the demand for their products has increased significantly. Many of them have been smiling through the banks. And I must say that even for some segments of the manufacturing sector, it has also benefited them. Because some of them have been having challenges with the smuggling of products that compete with them.
Yeah, we can comment to see, we can see everywhere.
This clearing agent, whose office has been shut since the partial border pronouncement, explains his predicament.
It's just as if you are doing your legitimate business and government say this time you are forced to close your door. We have not been doing anything. Everybody have been thrown into the labor market, and you can see my office. It shows you what we are going through here. We are not writing letter for government to open the border, no, but we are writing letter for government to have mercy for the citizens that have paid duty on majority of their consignment here. collected gate pass. I have some of them in my car. Collected gate pass. But unfortunately, the sudden closure of the border has stopped everything. Examination has been conducted, but unfortunately, they couldn't go.
As the security agencies continue to watch over the borders, those hit by its partial closure appeal to the federal government to fine-tune their operations and explore avenues to soothe their pains. After the index case of the coronavirus in Nigeria was reported and then the lockdown followed, a bottle of sanitizer became quite expensive. A lot of people could not afford it. A young girl, then a 300-level student of the Lagos State University, Rinu Odwala, who later became one of the prominent faces of the EndSARS protest, embarked on a mission to provide 50,000 bottles of sanitizer to Nigerians free of charge. We captured that story of how just a tweet from this chemical sister gave birth to a movement.
And this is the tweet. Then this is the tweet I tweeted, and see, I am a chemist. I can help in making hand sanitizer so we can distribute to people free. All we need is isopropyl alcohol, glycerol, hydrogen peroxide, distilled water, spray bottles. Let's get a company to donate ethanol. Some people can't afford hand sanitizers. Hashtag fight COVID-19.
Just one tweet and a movement is born. Operation Sanitize, which aims at getting free bottles of sanitizers across to 50,000 Nigerians.
My name is Odwala Bolatito Olorun. I'm a 300 level student of chemistry department, Lagos State University. I go by the alias Chemical Sister on Twitter and on Instagram. I came about Chemical Sister because of my love for chemistry back then. Now my love has diminished, but back then I really loved chemistry. So when I got on Twitter, people were having lots of names. So I decided to form mine, which was Chemical Sister.
After the index case of COVID-19 was announced in Nigeria, the price of sanitizer rose astronomically, leaving some people unable to purchase the product.
Sanitizer that was going for about 1,000 naira was now going for 3,000, 4,000. So I felt if well-meaning Nigerians could produce these sanitizers in large amounts, it could actually go a long way. Because people that are still, they can't buy food, how do you expect them to be able to buy sanitizers? And the virus, once it affects one person beside him, it affects me. So it's not about, let me do my thing on my own. Because there's no how humans can be. We have to socially interact with one another. People started responding, and someone came into my DM. His name is Mr. Amibo on Twitter. He said he wanted to donate to the project. I was skeptical, like, wait, hold on. Don't go too fast. I'm not this, it's not yet fast. He said, no, wait, I like the initiative. I want to contribute. Then he sent me about 75,000 there. I was impressed. Then I went back to my tweet that has gotten over 5,000 likes at that moment. Wow, I was overwhelmed, but because of the positive response I got from people on social media, I decided, okay, let's go ahead.
We had to organize a team to go down to Ojota. They went to Ojota, they looked for the price. They could not get the accurate price, but they still converted the price down to about 14 naira per bottle. Whereas people were saying that initially it was 20 naira, it was 18 naira, but we could not get a lower price. Then we had to contact her. She was like, there's nothing we can do. We can still try combating, but we went there the next day. When we got there, they were like, it is no longer 14, it is now 16 naira. We're like, but we came here yesterday, said it was 14 naira. Like, no, the price of everything has increased.
No, the first day, people said we could get a company to give us ethanol, because the ethanol price was quite high. So they mentioned name of about 2 to 3 companies, but the name that came to my head was Unichem Industries, because I don't know, I've never been here, but I said, okay, let me just come. I came here with the same positivity I was getting on social media, even though I was not that confident or brave. I met with the GM. The GM was very welcoming and warm. Said, okay, fine, since you are students of Lagos State University and this is what you want to do, I will give the ethanol you want to use. I said, sir, wait. He said, no, I'll give it to you. You want to make 50,000 and sanitizers? I will give them to you. I said, no, this is it. I was so happy that I felt like hugging him. He said, no, social distancing. No.
You want to see how it's fun?
I want to see how before I go home. This guy also got
Operation Sanitize.
We are ready.
Operation Disinfect.
We are good to go.
A week after the first tweet, the first batch of bottles of sanitizers had been produced and ready for distribution.
Even myself, some guy took home, people always want, please, we need that sanitizer. Even the one they brought outside, they kept it somewhere, please, we need your. And aside the quality of the sanitizer, the fragrance, the quality of fragrance too is very, very high.
While the story is still unfolding, a vital lesson to take away is that every idea can become a reality if we have the courage to take the first step. Our August episode came out of a very sad event. An accident caused by an unlatched truck killed 2 young Nigerians around Ilasamaja bus stop in Lagos. Now, this led to an outcry from Nigerians calling for an end to this recklessness, irresponsibility, and mindless killings. Chima and Chidima paid the supreme price that gave this fight a bite. May their souls continue to rest in peace, and may God comfort and console their family. A road crash on the 26th of July 2020 at the Lassa bus stop in Lagos left on its trail injury and death of some passengers in a bus. An unlatched container-laden vehicle lost control, smashing a bus with some passengers loading by the bus stop. This is the ever-busy Apapa Woshoki Expressway, and of course we are at Tilasa bus stop where the incident took place. And behind me is the container that led to the death of Chidima and Chima. An eyewitness paints a picture of what transpired on that day.
Sienna went to pass, so other people where they cross, people are walking, want to cross. The Sienna slow for them. So as we said, the trailer is going with full speed. I said make it turn and that's what the thing. Some son press the downfall. That's what happened.
However, the police public relations officer in Lagos confirmed the incident and gave his version of what happened.
From the brief I got from the on-the-spot assessment of the investigators and also some eyewitnesses' account that we had gathered from the scene, the accident was actually caused by 2 trucks that were trying to overtake each other.
34-year-old mother of 3, Eunice Nwabeze, made it out alive but sustained injuries that have kept her bedridden at Unique Care Hospital in Ilasamaja, where she is currently fighting for her life.
A tanker fell on them while she was still sitting inside the bus, compressed the bus, and was badly injured.
2 other passengers in the bus, Chidima Ajoku and Chima Nnegbe, both staff of the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, were not that lucky. They died on the spot. They were on their way back from work when the incident happened. The accident has left both families distraught and hoping it was all a bad dream. But all they could do now is hold on to the memories they shared with their beloved children.
She used to work 2 days morning, 2 days night, and when she comes back the following morning after the second night shift, she will call me from wherever. She will just go straight to the supermarket and call me, "Mommy, what do you need?"
The boy was expecting his call. That day I'm home, or something happened, I'm home now. The call they are getting is that go to the morgue and pick his body. It was a tough one. But as Christians, the Bible says we should not mourn at those who have no hope. That's what is keeping us. It's been tough, especially when you consider that this boy, with all modesty, was a very good boy, humble, obedient. To die that kind of painful death, that's what gets to me. I mean, that's what I remember, and I lose my sleep. You know, everybody was calling me, this boy does not deserve to die like that. It doesn't deserve it.
Recklessness and irresponsibility of drivers cause these families the pain and anguish they've had to go through. And they say it's time to put an end to this level of lawlessness.
I would like the government to step into this. They don't latch the containers. The containers just, you know, sometimes the roads are bad, they'll just enter a gallop and this thing will fall off.
If you see the way they drive, it's as though they are on assignment to shed blood. As soon as they do it, they bolt away. And then it continues another day. So, what I am saying that should stop. Because what comes round goes round. It has a way of going round.
So let shedding of that blood not be in vain. And then they think all these things will just continue as if nobody cares.
Recklessness or irresponsibility on our roads has no tribe nor religion. Therefore, any attempt to give it an ethno-religious coloration must be resisted. Violators must be visited with the full weight of the law. They must not be allowed to escape justice or go scot-free. Road users deserve better. May the souls of the departed rest in peace. Amen. The protest that greeted stories of police brutality across the nation was one that Nigeria must say never again to. The EndSARS protest, which started peacefully, ended in bloodshed, tears, and destruction of monumental scale. With an ongoing panel of inquiry into the brutality meted out to Nigerians by the police, as well as President Buhari's promise to look into the demands of the protesters, we hope these issues will be addressed sufficiently.
How come you're the CEO of an organization, you know, questions that, it's searching my phones for foreign contacts and emails.
I think that was the norm, see SARS, see police just run into your house, and just go and hide. So everybody just ran. I was wondering, why is everybody running and hiding? Like, you guys, is the police something now to be feared? And the guy was just going and they just held him and he was like, oh, what did I do? And they started slapping him, they started beating him. One even hit him with the butt of his rifle.
When I saw that they were ready to manhandle me, and I had to bring out all my documents, and I told them, even from my responses to you, you can know that, look at my dressing, everything. You don't need me to introduce myself to you before you know that I'm a responsible Nigerian.
The stories of police brutality were endless as SARS operatives assumed a terrifying dimension. This must end as Nigerians, especially the youth, could not take it anymore. About 4 days into the demonstration, the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, announced the disbandment of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS.
Special Anti-Robbery Squad of the Nigerian Police, otherwise known as SARS, is hereby dissolved across all formations, the 36 state police commands, and the Federal Capital Territory, where they currently exist.
As far as the protesters were concerned, they sounded all too familiar. They will not be letting go of the struggle anytime soon. It was time to fight to the finish. Their 5 for 5 demands must be met.
Now we give them the power, now we will collect back the power from them. They got to respect our opinion.
Trust became an issue from the moment the government responded that they had accepted the 5 for 5 demand of the protesters.
On the 20th of October, the sound of music from the protest ground was soon replaced by those from the guns of security operatives.
We are here fighting for our rights as a nation, as youths. We're fighting for our brothers in the force because they are good ones. But the bad ones have soiled and made our lives miserable, and it's taking all over. There are few good ones, by the way.
For several days, violence, chaos and massive looting took the place of the once upon a time peaceful protest.
It wasn't on the day when the shooting started that they planned what they carried out. It has been in their mind. They were looking for opportunities to actually unleash terror on people and to use that situation to amass some reward and benefit for themselves or to themselves. So if you look at it from this perspective, you are looking at some individual who started with a mind that things should work. You are also looking at some set of individuals who are having the mindset that we are going to hijack this thing, we are going to use this opportunity to gain reward.
The police is a product of the same society calling for its reforms. However, the need for behavioral changes and or modification cannot be overemphasized. While the streets may have been cleared of the protesters, the hoodlums, an effect left behind. The battle for societal reforms appears to have taken another dimension as the EndSARS advocates promise to sustain their demands. The story of a visually challenged Christiana Kehinde Akirimade, who despite her condition helps others acquire skills, is quite inspiring. She shared her amazing journey on how she never allowed a blindness to stunt her growth.
My name is Christiana Kehinde Akirimade. I'm from a town called Odigbo local government from Ondo State. I'm a Nigerian. I'm visually impaired.
While she was driving, she said she noticed that she was bumping into other vehicles.
I've been driving since 1998 when I was in the banking industry. Then I had to call my optician. I was using glasses. He kept on increasing the capacity of my lenses. I then discovered that I still keep on having some minor accidents.
And so she decided to pay the doctor a visit. However, after a series of some unfortunate events, she lost her sight.
I drove down to the general hospital where I was diagnosed that I had glaucoma and that I've lost my left eye. I was on medications, and at a certain period I was told that I would be operated. I agreed, and the date of the appointment for the operation was given to me. As at the date of the appointment, I went to the general hospital. Unfortunately, the doctors were on strike.
This is the end of the finishing of the center table made with a waste product called motor tire.
The journey for her was pretty difficult, but she was determined to change her story, and her determination soon brought her to a Lagos State government organized event.
Flour, the edge is lined with flour. Now we are going to put a flour vase. Oh, wow, things so beautiful.
I thought there was nothing good a blind person can say, as that is the narrative, that a blind person can no longer be useful. I thought a blind person will be liabilities all through his or her life, but I discovered in my own situation the narrative changed.
Christiana today teaches women how to be self-sufficient and resourceful, making bags, footwears, and even tables from used tires.
I was coming from my two, so I lighted at Celebo stop. A widow woman just came by. She never knew I was blind. Approached me that I should give her 100 naira. And I remember that the conductor gave me an 100 naira change. I gave it to her. As she was going, I now beckoned on her that she should assist me in crossing the main road. So she was amazed and was embarrassed that she collected money for a blind woman. She now wanted to give me the 100 naira back. I said no. And I said, why are you begging? That you can learn something. That look at this bag and the footwear I'm wearing. She now said she loved it. Can you come to my place? I will train you. That was how I trained the woman. Can you join? Bring two for me. Bring one, let me join. is how the journey is. And that's what they are doing. They are creating bags. It's my vision to create values into people's lives. And it's my goal to impart into people's lives. To crown it all, when I was sighted, I've never imparted into people's lives. I imparted more into people's lives when I became visually impaired. I'm happy. It is my passion that people should learn.
So I'm here to learn how to make a bag like the one I'm making. Also to make footwear just like the one I'm wearing. Then not only that, and also to gain knowledge because I'm a teacher by profession, because there's no knowledge that is wasted.
The story of Christiana is that of courage triumphing over physical disability. It is determination put into action. She has her eyes on bigger things.
This is the code matter. Look at it. And this one is an initiative for me. Nobody taught me. I just decided we should start using chain to make it unique. I just decided to use the material that let me form something out of it. At times, I will just visualize and create things, and it works.
She might not be sighted, but her vision is clear, and her focus fixed on making the most of her condition. Her story may one day become a precursor to a remarkable event that could shape the landscape of the physically challenged.
So that is why we are just trying to change the perspective that when you are visually impaired or when you are blind, you cannot, it depends on your choice. But I, Christiana Kendi Akinrimade, decided to be an asset to myself.
Now, those are a few of our features from the year 2020. We won't forget the issues of inadequate power supply, estimated bills and lack of prepaid meters, poor infrastructure, and of course, stories of injustices and oppression. This year, as we continue to bring these issues to the fore, we want you to get involved even better than the past years. Use the Eyewitness platform, our social media platforms, as well as our emails to reach out to us. Let's tell these stories together. Thank you for being part of today's package, and a very big thanks to all those who worked with me behind the scene. Let's make 2021 better. I am Chris Elams, and I'll keep my eyes on you.